Word up, people. Good evening and welcome to United Real Therapy. Sorry, some of you, I think I might have scheduled it wrong. I think I scheduled it for the Wednesday. I did it last night, but it made it look like I did it for Thursday night. But anyway, welcome, people. I'm sure some of you are just coming in and some of you might be expecting this show to be on tomorrow, but we're going to do it tonight. We're going to talk about possible managers. Big up Rob. Big up, man. Big up to every one of you in here. The title says it. I think the title of the show says it. So it's to manager. What manager do we want in this football club? What kind of manager do we want in this football club, people? What type of manager? Do we really need an interim manager? Do we need should Man United go out there and go and get the manager that we need? Or do we wait? Get down you, Scholesy. Get down you. Should we wait? Or should we go out like a proper football team? What should we do? Who should be Manchester United's next permanent manager? If not, because the bankers have all of the control, who should be your interim? Give it to me, people. Give it to me. What do you think? What do you think? Poch is coming. Arteta's at the wheel. Big up, bro. Arteta's definitely at the wheel. You think Poch is coming? You think they're going to be able to get Poch? Scholes and Seedorf. Oh, that'd be amazing teamwork. Could we see there they are? There you go, Raji Singh. Seedorf. Seedorf here. Hello, Seedorf. You just eating some food? Yeah, he's lovely. He's lovely jubbly there he is. Say hello. You got fans. You got fans out here. You got people who love you. You got fans. You got fans everywhere. Seedorf. People love Seedorf. He's quite chill, so I'm going to put him back. Oops. The alarm's going off. I've got to sort it out. Mundo. Sorry, guys, that was the noise. Sorry, guys. Mundo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Did you not see me? I basically my had food thing on the thing and he went off and my alarm's gone off. So that's why I have to run to sort it out. Mundo, talk to me. The big debate tonight. Obviously, we know we're owned by the clowns, and we know that now we're thinking interim instead of getting a proper football manager in, instead of having a plan. So make your case for the manager that you want, bro. Make your case. And I'll be back in a minute, people. Go on, Mundo.
I'm not sure who I want as my manager, to be honest. I don't want.
You used to be a big Poch fan. You love Poch. You were one of the people that wanted Poch. Have you left Poch?
No. No. So let me start again. If we're talking about interim, I don't want an interim manager at all, because we know what's going to happen. They appoint an interim. He wins a couple of games. He becomes our manager, right? So I don't want that. If they're saying Poch, go and get him now. If they wanted Ten Hag and he's saying I'm not available until the summer, and Poch is saying I'll come now, go and get Poch. End of. Because I don't trust this board. I do not trust this board one bit. And if we end up with some interim who we think is just coming in to steady the ship, mark my words, they are going to give that guy the job. Because what it means, because any interim coming in is going to work with Carrick, Murta, McKenna, and Phelan. So if they could keep that structure in place with an interim, they will do it. So I don't want an interim because that's just bad news. And the fact that after the game yesterday, Carrick had the nerve to come out and say, "Oh, that win was for Ollie." It's laughable. Our club is a laughing stock. The guy's just been sacked, and he has a bloody video like it's what you call it, reality TV, and then we win the next game, and they're oh, that wins for Ollie. What the hell are these guys talking about? Honestly, it's a disgrace, and that's why I want Carrick, Phelan, McKenna. I want a clear out. They need to get rid of all of them, because what Scholesy said yesterday on BT absolutely hit the nail on the head. That's Ollie's team. They were responsible as much as he was, if not more, for the results, for what happened on the pitch. So why are they still in a job? And I don't want an interim coming in, working with that same team, because we're going to get the same results. But if we absolutely have to have an interim, then I would go for Ranić. Anyway, I've had my rant.
Yes, Mundo, yeah, I heard everything you said. Ranić is the guy. Can you explain the reasons? Why do you want Ranić? People also get in the comments, we shouldn't really have an interim, but who would you be your interim? And who would your permanent manager would be? Get in the comments, people. Let's go.
The reason why I say Ranić is because if worst case scenario, they turn around and say the interim we've appointed is going to remain as the manager, then at least I want someone who's good. Do you understand what I mean? So if we're stuck with Ranić as our manager, that's not bad, because his experience and everything else, you would hope that he would, even though he's got duff coaches, that he would be able to use his contacts, use his experience to be able to improve things behind the scenes, right? The job that Ollie was supposed to have done, which I don't think he has done, because he didn't have the experience to do it in the first place anyway. So that was all a load of guff. But Ranić has that experience. So even if he's with us for a couple of years, he plays the right type of football. He knows he gets the right profile of players, and he can influence behind the scenes. Even if he's stuck with that structure, at least he's got some influence over that structure, if you see what I mean. So that's why I'm going for Ranić.
People in the comments, I got people saying Ranić interim, Poch for permanent appointment. Robert was just saying a minute ago, there we go, Robert Moore, I think this is what we're saying. PSG will try to discover Mauricio Pochettino's intentions after their Champions League game against Man City. Docker in the Telegraph. Okay, Ranić, interim director of football, director of Ten Hag as manager. Okay, I think a lot of people are interim. We'll go with what we've got. Full-time coach Ten Hag and his whole staff. Okay, that's an interesting. I won't go with what we've got. I think all of it. Carrick is already talking like Ollie, saying that wasn't about me. It was about the team. It's about this. It's about that. So
he needs to go. All of them needs. Every single one of them.
I've got Mundo. I said that. Mundo. I said that. And to be fair, it was very revealing because Carrick goes, I asked Ollie what he thinks when Edward would ask me to take over. I'm like, listen, why do you not go with him? Like I said it the other night, if me and you go and get a job somewhere and I get you in, if you get sacked, do you think I'm going to stay around? Where's the integrity, Mundo? Where's the integrity?
Exactly. And the thing is as well is, it's like they're trying to mug us off as fans. Ollie said himself, those are the guys who do the coaching. So if it's the same coaches, it's the same setup. The only difference is that Ollie's not there. But Ollie might as well be there. For me, there's no change. As long as those guys are still in position, there's no change.
And this comment here, Carrick has failed on the two managers. That coaching, him and Kieran McKenna, have got 2 managers sacked me. At the end of the day, they were both with Jose as well. Even though Jose doesn't need anybody to help him to get sacked, to be fair. So I'll take that back. They were both there with 2 failed managers. And what does that tell you? But it is, honestly, Mundo, it is for me, the fact that Man United are scrambling around with the interim and that we link from pillar to post is incredible. Look at the names we link with. Have you seen it? Have you seen it today? Look how many names we link with.
Six guys they've interviewed, apparently. 6.
I don't believe a word of that, Mundo. Honestly, I don't believe a word of that. That's all spin. By the way, all of these journalists, these sonographers, are all using all the confusion and all the interest and all this sort of called excitement some of the United fans have on Twitter and social media. They just want more traction and more followers. That's what they want, genuinely. None of them know exactly what's going on. They don't, because they're reporting some contradictory stuff all over the place. Unless Neil Ashton is giving out so many different information to get confused people. I mean, the Raniak thing came back again today. And I'm thinking, Man United have a team that studies social media. And they study what's going on social media. So what they do is, they look at social media and go, what do you think what are the fans talking about? Let's throw them a bone. Let's talk about Raniak when we're talking about Valverde. I like Valverde's too pragmatic. I have been starved of good football, except for that first 4 months with Ollie. I've been starved of good football for 9 years. That's all I want. I'm not asking for much. All I want is attacking-minded manager. That's what I want, attacking football. That's all I want. I'm not asking for much. Big up to every one of you. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Like, share. Come on, people. This is the community. Therapy army will have to have it say. So I'm counting how many of you, what you're saying. So please keep commenting. Whoever do you want? Who do you want? Do you want? All I'm seeing is that Ten Hag. I'm seeing Poch. I'm saying Raniak as the interim. Who else do you want as the interim? Who else do you want as the permanent manager? Because Man United shouldn't be going for interim. Man United should be going getting a manager now. We've still got 6 months left of this season. We've got decent players. In January, we can sign a CDM and we can have a balance in our team.
Exactly. We should. That's what I mean. This interim thing is a nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense. And we have to call it out for what it is. They're saying interim because they want to get someone in on the cheap and then keep that same structure with Carrick and all the rest of it. And then that's what's going to happen if they get an interim. I don't remember when they appointed Ollie as interim. They said, in the summer, we're going to get a director of football and we're going to get a top-class coach. And we're still waiting 3 years later. No director of football because I don't class John Murtaugh as a director of football. And we're still waiting for that world-class manager that they promised us. Ed Woodward, I do not trust that guy. Now, I don't think we're going to get Ranić. The reason we're not going to get Ranić is because they don't want someone looking behind the curtains. Because if someone takes a peek behind the curtains, they would see what a mess we are as a club, right? And they would see what a mess Woodward has made of our club. And he's all about ego. That's why it's taken so long to sack Ollie, because it's all about his ego. Because he's the one who's handing out contracts like the candy, yeah? So it doesn't matter if you're failing, mate. It doesn't matter if you're not winning. As long as you're cheap and you do as you're told, here's another 3 years, mate. He's got form, this guy. And the fact that they're now saying he might even stay, my goodness. We're not getting Zidane either. So Zidane is completely out the picture. He was never in the picture, to be honest, Zidane.
Exactly, Mundo. Exactly. It's funny to me because it's almost like they're playing in the fans' emotions. I don't know about you, honestly, but they're playing in the emotion. They're playing with the emotions of the fans and the support. And Ed Woodward is doing the same things with Neil Ashton, pulling strings right, left, and centre, manipulating the fan base. Manipulating the fan base. And exactly what you said, Raf Ranić wants full control. Wants full control to be able to make the footballing decisions. But tell me, Mundo, why you were for Poch when we used to speak a couple of years ago? Why and what's happened now? Are you still with Poch?
No, I'm still with Poch. I think if Poch is available now, go and get Poch. End of. I don't want an interim. I think Ten Hag is obviously everyone's dream. Yeah, he's like the ideal candidate. But if we can't get Ten Hag, if the choice is let's go with an interim and wait for Ten Hag, I don't think our board are going to go for Ten Hag if they get an interim. I just don't see it. They're going to do the same thing they did with Ollie. Whoever they get as an interim is going to be our manager. So scrap the interim. So if Poch is saying, I'm going to come now, as you said, we've got 6 months left of the season, get him now. Get a manager who's available now.
I think interim could be Michael Carrick, you know. I'm telling you, I can see the propaganda already. Oh, he changed formation a couple of times last night. He did this, he did that.
It's already started where they're saying, Carrick and McKenna, they had ideas, but Ollie didn't let them, use the ideas. That came out today, after the game yesterday. Ron mute, I think.
And you know who that is, don't you? You know who that is, innit? That's Neil Ashton.
Neil is there, mate. Already laying there.
Neil Ashton's there writing it and giving it to these sonographers, journalists, because they're not journalists, they're sonographers, and he's giving it to them. And so Zidane preference would be PhD unless the French national team becomes available. John Bear. Who are these people I've never heard of? These people write for the Telegraph. What Telegraph? Is that the British Telegraph or the Telegraph in Holland? That famous newspaper in Holland. Is that the British Telegraph?
I think that's the Daily Telegraph, isn't it?
Well, I've never heard of this guy, John Byrne. I've never heard that he's got some sort of like know-how or knowledge about what's going on in the going-ons of football and anything surrounding Man United and Man United's manager. But these guys just want followers. Don't give them the space. Honestly, Kellys, these guys are just crazy. Honestly, they're crazy. They're just trying to bait Man United fans into clickbait. We become clickbait FC. We are a Netflix and reality TV show. We are a combination of a Netflix comedy club, and a reality TV. That's what we are. Honestly, that's what we are, because the way the drama is. And I've been in a couple of states.
We need to be called Made in Stratford, or I don't know. The only way is Old Trafford.
No, Mundo, Made in Mayfair, because that's where the bankers are. That's where the bankers' office is. It's made in Mayfair. Honestly, Made in Mayfair, people. If Man United was a reality TV, it'd be called Made in Mayfair. It's not even in Manchester, because the people who work at the ground and the people who work at the cliff, at Carrington, they're honest people. Honest people. By the way, the cliff used to be United's old training ground. That's why I'm getting into the Carrington and Cliff, right? But it should be called Made in Mayfair. That's where the office of the bankers are, Mundo. The bankers use the office. It's in London, Mayfair. It should be called Made in Mayfair. And it is a banking affair. That's what it is. It's a banking affair. And that's what we're all trapped into, people. This nightmare world where Ed Woodward dictates everything that happens in this club. He uses us like he's some toy. Mundo, he'll come out, call me a conspiracy theorist. It'll either come out he was a diehard City fan as a kid, or a diehard Liverpool fan, or a Leeds fan, or an Arsenal fan. It'll come out. It will come out.
I know this. I just don't know how this. He's so incompetent. It's like
it's incredible.
He must be such an egomaniac that he actually thinks he's doing a good job.
Mundo, I tell you what,
he thinks he's doing a good job.
Guess who's one of his closest friends is, Mundo? Gary Lineker, Mr. Football. Mr. Football. Anyway, guys, you know what? I just want to pay a tribute and condolences to the friends and families of those over 30 people that drowned today in the channel. Those refugees, they're not migrants, they're refugees. They're refugees because of the weapons that European countries sell. Well, not more than so Britain. The wars and the wars that Britain start, and the destabilization, whether it's economically, whether it's in terms of war and civil wars that are going on around the world, in terms of climate crisis, things that are going on in the world, but mainly in the Middle East. Those brown and black people would not have died, and thousands have died in the past, 5, 6, 7 years or 8 years or more. Thousands have died. Those people don't die if they were European and have got white skin. Facts. And I want to pay condolences to their families and their friends. But Mundo, go ahead, bro. Woodward, how please, Mundo, explain, right? You worked in a law firm. You understand how the corporate work. I worked in the culture and arts, right? It's similar, actually. The model is not that different now anyway, right? But explain to me how that is allowed to continue. When you sack 4 managers in your law firm, if you sack 4 people, if you hired and fired 4 different people, when does your position become untenable?
I'll tell you what, it all boils down to the owners. Yeah. Because if you work for any business, if their priority is money and money only, then it doesn't matter if, using the case of the law firm, if I'm losing cases left, right, and center and all my clients getting sent to prison, they don't care as long as the bills have been paid and the money's coming in. That's the same as Man United. They don't care what happens on the pitch. They really don't care. The only thing they care about is getting top 4. So it doesn't matter if you've got a failing manager and money. So they're thinking, if we can reach top 4 with the minimum spend in terms of staff, that's players and manager and backroom staff and everything else, with the minimum amount of money spent on stadium and training ground and whatever, and can take as much money out as possible, that is the ideal situation for them. And as far as they're concerned, Woodward's done a good job in that respect because he's been making the money. But the thing is, the reason why they're doff business people is because if they had a better product on the pitch, if they had a proper footballing structure, they wouldn't waste money on transfers. They wouldn't spend £40 million on players who don't even get in the team. They'd have a proper scouting network, proper structure. They'd be able to get those hidden gems that are cheap, so buy low or sell high. And they would make even more money. So it doesn't make any sense.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Honestly, it's like sabotage. It's like the Glazers were Liverpool fans or something, honestly. And only Fergie was covering up and protecting us from them. Fergie leaves. Woodward takes shit hold because David Gill left. That's the question I want to know. None of the ex-players, none of these so-called journalists ever asked the question, why did David Gill go? Why did he go? Why did he go with Fergie? Why didn't he help to manage the transition? I mean, what kind of a football club are we? No football club. Let's the CEO and the manager go that's been there for years together at the same time. It's incredible.
Because the Glazers wanted their own people in those key positions. And I think he knew, because I think didn't David Gill leave and then he took a position with UEFA or something, didn't he?
Yeah, so but afterwards, it wasn't that when he was working there. When UEFA thought he was available, they were like, get this guy.
Yeah, because he was very, very influential in football circles. But the thing is like, Wood was not the first crap CEO we've had, because Peter Kenyon was bad as well. Remember how bad he was, right? But the difference being...
But not as bad as Woodward, because Fergie was covering up for him, to be fair.
Yeah, we had Fergie. That's the big thing. So Fergie mastered the deficiencies of Kenyon and all these other guys that were beforehand. But what happens is, if you don't have that manager, you don't have control of what's happening on the football pitch, and you've got people on the business side interfering on the football side, this is what happens. It's a mess.
I've got Mundo. Of course, it is. Skulls are chill. What are you doing? Mundo, honestly, it's breaking. Guys, a lot of you said for Zidane. A lot of you have asked for. What else have you asked for, guys? Who do you think it should be? People are just thinking... people are thinking of names, Mundo. Woodward's Love Island. Man, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think Carrick has got the right qualifications. I think he has. Made in Stratford. The only way Stratford. God. Blame America. Terrible sad news. Like, oh, of course it is. Of course it is,
well,
bro.
I'm Paul Pogba. Get me out of here.
Exactly. That's what it is. I'm telling you, I'm Paul Pogba. Get me out of here. PSG. PSG board emergency talks over Madrid's intentions moving forward following the defeat. Lauren Julian. Okay. Okay.
Julien Laurent is normally on when it comes to French
On the
football.
ball, yeah, French, yeah.
Yeah, he
You
knows
know,
his stuff.
the players know very well our situation. They know their situation. We are living in a business where rumors are out there. Okay, that's what he said. Of course, yeah. Blame it, America. Nuruddin, do you think the Glazers will get Mancini? Mancini? I don't know. But they're not clever enough to go and seek out. He's a good manager. With Man United, would have a style of play. In Mancini, would have a style of play with Ten Hag. They would have a serious style of play with Ten Hag and a system. They will have a style of play with Enrique. You know what I mean? These guys, they have serious styles of play. Raniak, the definitive style of play. And Man United are not clever enough. They're not clever. And I'm telling you now, they'll mess this up. Something will happen. PSG will sack Poch. Did you watch the City game tonight, Mundo? Did you see any of it?
I did. I watched the whole game, yeah.
What did you think?
City were fantastic. But the thing is that with PSG, I've said it before, man, that's the manager's, the only guy who can probably go in there and do a job is Zidane. That's the manager's graveyard, because if you're a manager that likes to press and have a system, forget it. Because even against City today, Neymar, Messi and Mbappe were just walking around the pitch when City had the ball. They're just walking. They're not even trying to close down gaps. You know, people complain about Ronaldo not pressing. At least Ronaldo tries to cut down passes.
You see Ronaldo? Ronaldo was pressing last night.
Yeah. He gets around the pitch. Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, those guys just walk around the pitch like nothing. So you can't afford to do that against top teams like Man City. And City had the same outball every time, which was to switch play, because PSG didn't have enough defenders on the pitch, because only 8 or 7 of their outfield players were defending. So City always had. So both of City's goals came from crosses where PSG's defense had moved across the pitch to one side, and it was an overload on the other side. And both City's goals came from that. So I can understand why Poch, because look at what happened. Tuchel, okay, got into the Champions League final, but he wasn't setting the world alight with PSG. And look, he's gone to Chelsea now, a team that has a system, players that buy into his philosophy, everyone's willing to work.
100%.
Emery's the same. Yeah, when he was very successful with Seville, went to PSG, tried to coach them to play his way, weren't having it because he's got players that walk around the pitch, don't want to defend.
Listen, PSG is the kind of club where the club president, right, basically Neymar rings him up and says, can I go or can I have 2 weeks off? And then Neymar speaks to the manager. Manager's like, no, you can't. The president rings the manager and says, yeah, he can. It's that kind of a club.
And Leonardo as well. Like Leonardo is like their best mate, so he undermines the manager.
Of course he does.
Go to Leonardo, and Leonardo's the one who's buying the players. So
of course he does.
They don't have a proper footballing structure. Even though Leonardo's the director of football, it's not. Again, it's like the owners call the shots, don't they? They just want to buy people with, it's not sporting reasons, and they want to get certain players. They want to get certain players because they want to sell shirts. They're a bit like our owners, but with an intention. At least they've got an intention to try and win as well. Mm-hmm. But still, the model's still not great. The manager should be able to come in and have a style of play. And if you're getting if they're not giving you the players to fit into your philosophy, then that's an issue, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And PSG don't do that.
Of course. There we go. Exactly. Mohamed Chaldry, big up Mohamed Chaldry. I desperately wanted Raf Ranier. He would have a good compo with Murto as a sports scientist. But basically, he wouldn't. Actually, Murto would hate him because Ralph would be like, you ain't no director of football. I'm a director of football. You get back to what you were doing, you donkey. That's what he would say to him. That's what he would say to him, honestly. That's what he would say to him. Nerd, if you had to choose between tiki-taka or German press, what would you choose? German press. Because it's far more aggressive. It's far more winning the ball up the pitch. I would prefer that. But to be fair, most teams now play a combination. Liverpool are a very good passing team as well. They use what's his name, Van Dijk, as a diagonal ball, hitting that diagonal ball to Salah or to Mane. That's what they do. That's the types of things that they hit. But yeah, I like the German press because I think the German press will suit Man United. Sometimes when the team's constantly got the ball, it gets a bit boring. You know what I mean? It gets a bit
We don't have
boring.
to play to tiki-taka anyway. We don't.
Yeah.
Our players are.
It takes a long time to develop as well. You know what I mean?
Our players, I mean, with tiki-taka, every single player has to be comfortable on the ball. Every player. Whereas if you play the Gegenpress, then it's, you know, guys like Fred who crap on the ball would be good in the Gegenpress because all he would need to do is, and he likes doing it, is just running around in it. It's like a lot of, obviously it's structured running around, but it is a lot of running, isn't it? It's just mainly just a lot of running to win the ball back and then giving the ball to better players, which is, I think we've got the players that suited better to that than trying to retain possession. And because Van Gaal tried that and it was crap.
It was because Van Gaal just kept the ball. I remember our stats between our right backs or left backs and between the two centre halves was the highest percentage anywhere in world football. What do you think to this question, Mundo? If you want to read it out, to see this little rascal.
If Ranić ain't hired while he is a revolutionary wanting a job, it proves how much the club has dropped in standard. MJ, Kobe, Messi, and CR7 greats, but still needed the best coaches to win. Absolutely.
100%. 100%, Muhammad Ali. Big up, man. Big up, brother. I hope you're all right in Texas. I think he's in Texas, Houston, Texas. So big up, man, and be careful out there, man. Crazy,
well, look
crazy.
At Barcelona, right? With Barcelona, after Pep and after Enrique, the managers they've hired have not been great. And there's only Messi could only carry that team on his back for so long. And then look how they struggled Champions League, getting licked, you know, throwing away 3-0 leads and, you know, Liverpool and Roma and all the rest of it. It's because tactically they weren't set up right. They were just relying on Messi.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only so far that will take you. That's why you need nowadays, because the gap between the big teams is so small, what makes the difference is the manager. Because every club's got money. Every club can go out and buy world-class players. So what you need is, what gives you the edge is the manager. That's why Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, because if you look at our squad, Man United squad, I don't think there's much between certainly not between our squad, Liverpool and City and Chelsea. Definitely not. The difference is that they've got a world-class manager. Other than our midfield is shocking.
Oh, of course it is. Of course our midfield is shocking. And we've not fixed it. The last time we had a decent midfield, Mundo, was 2009, 2008, 2009 season. And what did we do? We won the league and we won the Champions League. And it's a balance of Hargreaves, Carrick, and Scholesy. You know what I mean? Especially those being
a young Anderson as well,
who came in now and again, even though he was far injury prone.
Yeah.
Far injury prone. Here we go. I hope you don't lose any sleep over Man U, mate. Keep up with the poetry. It will keep you sane. Yeah, man, definitely, bro. I've tried to get out, man, and I'm doing that. But Man United do drive me crazy. They do drive me crazy because the way they try to manipulate, the way they think that we're all stupid, the fans, the way they play on their fans' emotions. Well, thank you so much, Hot Steamy. Thank you. Thank you for the nice advice. Advice is always welcome. Van Gaal didn't have the squad or investment he used a lot when the youth played. Yeah, that's a fact as well. They didn't back him because they never got the players that he wanted. They got the third or fourth or fifth choices, didn't they? Ranić, seriously, the professor working for a circus. Exactly. The professor working for a circus. Watching Poch PhD is so sad. He built his managerial career on the press, but the front three don't want to press. It's sad, bro. It is. I'd wait until the summer to go out for Ten Hag. He'll bring a style of play which will compete with City and Liverpool. Yeah, of course. Of course, in terms of, he's a system manager. Modern football, systems is what helps you. Individual brilliance can only carry you so much because the systems do their bit. Wonder you watching a bit of the highlights. Who else has won tonight? Is Barca definitely out now? They're definitely out. Are they in the Europa League?
No, they're still in, but they're drew 0-0 with Benfica, didn't they? So I think they are.
They got to win the last game.
I'm not sure who's their last game.
I think they've got to win the last game.
I think so. Yeah.
Two other games, they have to win it. Scholes is here, people falling asleep on me. He's snoring.
I think it's Barca like us. We're two teams in disarray. We're doing nothing in Champions League. We come up against Bayern. Barca have to beat Bayern apparently. Well, good luck. They're out.
They're out. Europa League, mate. There we go, Ben. I think Ben just says it there. Like, why would you want to get involved in a club that's run by Ed Wood? You know what the first thing I would say? I'll take the job, but Ed, you have to go. Imagine that job interview. That's what I would say. Ed, you have to go.
But you know what? A top manager would, because setting aside Woodward and the Clowns, if you look at it from the outside, you think, if you're a top manager, you think, I've got Ronaldo, I've got all these young players, I've got Sancho, I've got Rashford, I've got Varane, I've got Greenwood. I'm telling you, it's an attractive job. It is an attractive job. That's why I think Poch is interested, because he probably thinks that squad's probably more suited to what I want than the PSG. And at least all I need is one or two players in the midfield and a right back and a centre half, because I think Harry Maguire's doff. 3 players, I'm telling you, and a good manager, we could be competing with City and Liverpool and Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
But if we keep Carrick and that, honestly, I'm writing off Man United for the next 10 years with those guys.
Honestly, it's one thing is for sure: to get rid of the current coaching staff. They're bloody awful. What they've done for the past, of course, what they've done before that, of course, they're atrocious. Did you see Kieran McKenna thinking he was a bad man last night, shouting? Like, why were you shouting when Ollie was there? Why are you shouting now? You absolute clown.
Why was Carrick on the touchline as well? The first time he stepped on the touchline in 3 years. All he normally does is sit next to Ollie on the iPad and chat shit.
I think Ollie's still got the iPad, you know. Big up Ollie, wherever he is. He's still got the iPad. Look at it.
Now he can watch Netflix as much as he wants, you know, because that's all he was doing during the game. I don't know what he was watching. He was probably watching, I don't know.
Yeah, big up Conrad. We've not seen you for a while. Big up Conrad. I hope you're good, bro. Love. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, it just shows you Man United have become absolute clickbait. Basically, the journalists must love all the drama at Man United, because they all like getting followers, they're all getting traction, they're all writing articles right, left, and center for absolute nonsense. One thing we do know is that, remember how we are when it comes to signing players? We are so slow. The only one that we signed quickly was Ronaldo. Everybody else, we took our time, and we're so tedious. So it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
That's what I mean. Like every move, you're right. Every time we sign a player, there's a saga. Getting rid of Ollie, he should have went after the Liverpool game. They had 2 weeks to replace him over the international break. They kept him. Everyone knew what was going to happen. He was going to get sacked eventually. If not by the Watford game, by Chelsea. Lo and behold, we get licked at Watford. Then they come up with we've got a caretaker. Then we're going to get an interim. Then we're going to get a manager. It's an absolute disgrace. I've never seen anything like it watching football for the last, 3 or 4 decades. I mean, normally the batshit crazy clubs are Newcastle and Tottenham, right? But I think we are streets ahead of them now. We are the biggest joke club I think that's ever existed in football. I can't imagine. The only thing to top this off is if we got relegated. That would be like the icing on the cake. If we got relegated, then that would be like the ultimate. But that might be the only way to get rid of these leeches out of our club.
Mm-hmm. Muhammad Ali, we can only dream. Muhammad Ali says the Ajax team flow is hot, but Rav Gegenpress without attack will flourish. Rafford, Martial, Greenwood. Sancho, none of that. It's not happening, bro. We can only dream. What about the crying? What is he talking about? Who's crying?
He's talking about Ollie on Ollie's video.
Let's not talk about that, bro. Let's not talk about
that nonsense. And for Carrick to come out, yes, I wanted to. Honestly, if I could reach into the screen and strangle him, I would have strangled him, because that is some BS he came out with. Oh, that result was for Ollie. What? We've turned into sentimental FC.
The biggest virus was also Jose was one of the big viruses, because he needed to look in the mirror, and the other virus was Woodward and the rest of the bankers. There we go. Already, the board want Poch because he will be the Glazer puppet. Yeah, he'll be a club man. He won't really say anything. Crazy fact.
I'm not sure about that, because he came out against Levy quite a few times.
Now at the end, he said he was just a coach. He came out and said, because they didn't back him, didn't they? When they didn't back him, he was like, "I'm just a coach, and I'm not involved with transfer." Because they were talking about some of the transfer renewals. You know what I mean? That some of those players, that he didn't want them to go. But here we go. It's crazy fact that Donny's younger than Scott McTominay. Mundo, please tell me, because Scott McTominay, I don't think he's a bad player, but he's not a starter for Man United. If Man United want a challenge for Champions League or the league. Number two, Scott McTominay is probably on the worst form of his life. Why does Scott McTominay get to have a kind of Scottish racket protection at Old Trafford? Donny played fantastic as a number 8, right? As a number 8, right? Against Watford. Why is Scott playing number 8? And why are you playing Donny in the number 10 when we know we haven't got possession of the football? If you haven't got possession of your creative players are non-existent because you haven't got the ball. But why do you think Scott McTominay there's this hype about Scott McTominay?
I don't know. I just think it's like he's a youth team player. He probably is quiet. He doesn't cause any fuss in the changing room. And I hear people comparing him to Darren Fletcher. That is an insult to Darren Fletcher. Darren Fletcher actually is very underrated, right? Darren Fletcher was a good passer of the ball. His ball retention was very good in tight spaces. And he was tenacious, right? And
he would score goals as well.
And he scored important goals, right? In derbies and all the rest of it.
In big games.
I'm going to be honest. I think McTominay is crap. I just don't seriously. People are just being nice because he's come through the youth. But for me, when you look at Chelsea, I'm benchmarking it against the teams we're competing against.
Mundo, the only question you got to ask is Scotland don't even play in midfield. What does that say?
Exactly, right? That Billy Gilmore kid doesn't even get a game for Norwich, right? Can't get. He's Chelsea reserve. He's not even reserve. He's probably like 10th choice at Chelsea, and he starts for Scotland in their midfield ahead of McTominay.
And he's the baller. That Billy Gilmore, honestly, he's the baller. This guy asking me, "Are you guys looking forward to Chelsea?" I don't think looking forward to is the word. It's a type of language. We don't look forward to games. We dread them these days, man. But anyway, guys, there's nearly 70 of you in here. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. This is a therapy army. We keep it 100% in this channel. We tell you the real stuff, what's going on at this football club, who the real cancer are, who are the real virus in this club. It's the bankers. And we can put enough pressure on the Glazers to get rid of the bankers, or else nothing is changing at this football club. Even Scholesy knows that. Scholesy looks at me, he's like, "Stop banging on about the bloody bankers." I'm like, I can't, because the bankers have turned my club into a reality TV and a Netflix comedy special. Because that's what we are, guys. We've got a massive office in Mayfair. We are Mayfair, mate. It is a Mayfair. I'm telling you now, it's a Mayfair affair. That's what it is. Mayfair affair. That's where made in Mayfair, because that's where the bankers operate from. I think the role made for Poch. We want him, and he wants us. Faz Ahmed, I hope you're right, bro. But can we get him now? Why would he leave? Do you think after watching them tonight, Mundo, do you think he would definitely wants to get the hell out of there?
I think he does. I just think he knows he's on borrowed time at PSG.
But he's leading 10 points clear in the French league.
I know, but PSG,
and he's never won a league. He's never won a league title. He's never managed the team to win in a league title.
I know.
Is he going to give that up?
It depends how much he rates the French league. Like, does he think that it's a massive
He
achievement?
would not have gone there if he didn't rate it, Mundo. Wouldn't he have not have gone there if he didn't rate it? He didn't go there to go and manage Lyon. He didn't go there to manage Monaco or Marseille. He went there to manage PSG because they're the biggest.
Yeah, but I think he's gone to manage PSG. He's gone to manage PSG because he probably thinks they've got the resources to. Okay, I win the French league, but the priority for them is Champions League.
Mm-hmm. How do you pronounce that name, Mundo? Nagiwini?
Is it
Nagiwini?
Negwenya, I think Negwenya.
Negwenya, bro, 100%. Mr. Negwenya, 100%. Woodward is here because he needs to stay, and the Glazers are already telling us because he pulled off the Ronaldo and he made him so much money with the Ronaldo deal that he's going to be a consultant. That means he's never leaving anyway. That means he's part of it. He's part of all the decision making. Basically, we can never get rid of that virus. We can, and that's why if I ever saw Gary Lineker outside anywhere, Gary Lineker back when we used to do the match of the day, sometimes I would see him around Piccadilly, you know what I mean, on the station, or sometimes you just see him, yeah. And I saw him once. I'm telling you, Mundo, I would tell it to Gary. I say, Gary, please tell me, how is he single-handedly destroyed Manchester United? Single-handedly. What are you talking about, man? Bias is why Scott is playing for the amount of games he does. Of course, it's almost kind of United Scottish protection racket. That's what that is.
Let me ask you a serious question about McTominay. Think hard about this question, right? Look at the squad that Chelsea, City, and Liverpool have.
Right. He wouldn't get into
it. Is he better than any midfielder in those three squads?
No.
So why is he playing for Manchester United?
Even Grandad Milner's better than him. Milner on this form now, with like his legs are gone.
I take Milner now over McTominay any day of the week. Right? When I look at Chelsea, even Loftus-Cheek is better than him.
Listen, he's not better than the Leicester guys, or Everton guys, or the Wolverhampton guys. He's not. He's not better than any of them.
He couldn't even get in West Ham. He couldn't even get in West Ham's team. He couldn't. He might just about get better than here.
Højbjerg. He's not better than Højbjerg.
No, he's not.
That Danish player. He's not better than him at all. He's not better than that guy. I'm saying Moreno, whatever this is, the guy who played for Southampton. He's not better. Scott McTominay's not better than him.
Romeo.
He's not better than Romeo. No, come on now. Bless up, man. Yeah, man. Listen, it's true. It's true. Yeah, Hazard, 100%. 100%. It's true. I'm telling you.
I think that McTominay makes Fred look even worse than he is. Fred is the one that Keane and everyone kills all the time, but they never say a word against McTominay. Oh, he's young, this, that, and the other. He's not young, he's 25.
Mohamed Chowdhury here saying that, does he think that the Ajax academy is better than... I won't say better, but I think there are some decent quality in our academy. It's not like Ajax roll out, play 7 or 8 guys who played in the academy. Now that they play maybe 2 or 3, and that's all we need to do anyway.
Well, United have got some very talented players in their academy. All the way through the academy, they've got some.
Exactly. We know one of them. We know one of them. Zidane. One of them's name is Zidane, and we know him. Big up Zidane. Zidane Iqbal.
You've got Hannibal. You've got Diallo.
You got Elanga.
Ghana.
Yeah, man. You got Braithwaite. You've got the other kid as well. What's the other kid who's on loan? MK Dons. I forgot the guy's name, but yeah, they've got a sick right back, left back, but he's getting too many injuries. He can play either. He's one of the most attacking right backs I've ever seen. Even led, yeah. Amazing, but he gets too much injured. One of our own passion, god awful player, McTominay. Trust me.
I'm not pulling any punches. He's crap. He's not good enough for Man United. Seriously, he's dead wood. He should not be in our team.
But not even that, Mundo. He's not that quality. He doesn't have that much quality. But when he's off form like he is now, struggling with injuries. I mean, the guy came from an operation a week later, he was playing. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's like Mr. He believes in his McTominator. You're not a machine, mate. You're a human being. But he's so out of form. It's unbelievable.
What frustrated me yesterday was this had Fred running all over the pitch like a blue ass fly. McTominay was, I don't know where.
100% Giorgio B. Yeah, Don is a number 8, yeah.
Yeah, he should have, at least, the thing is, right, if you're going to have McTominay and Fred in the midfield, you've got to play a 3-man midfield.
Exactly.
You can put Matic in there, right, because people are worried about Matic and his stamina. But if you've got those two guys doing all his running, we've seen it over the years. Teams have had 35, 36-year-old midfielders to pull in the strings. Pirlo played for how long? And Juventus, what did they do?
Scholes, Ryan Giggs.
Yeah.
Ryan Giggs.
You have guys next to them who run. But you don't just
Ryan
have the
Giggs is a midfield player for United. In the last 5, 6 years, 8 years of his career. Right, what was Ryan Giggs' window?
He played until he was 40, and he played in centre midfield towards the end of his career. Scholes, he played until he was 38, centre midfield. Exactly.
There you go. Karim, that's it. Man UFC, big up. City fan, but he's quite honest. He can be very objective. Good win for your boys tonight. I heard you put PSG to the sword. City, again, you go again. Another season in the Champions League. Kim, let me know what do you think of Ten Hag? And is it true that he's first on City's list to replace Pep Guardiola? Because that's what I heard. That's the big rumours that I'm hearing from City fans. Ten Hag is the next guy to replace him. Guys, we're coming towards the end of the show. So please just remind me who you want as the interim, because most likely we're going to get interim. I think the interim is going to be Carrick. Because have you seen it? We played Chelsea, Mundo, and then we got 10 possible winnable games. So to be fair, we can't beat Watford. Is any game winnable now for Man United?
Did you watch us yesterday? We were crap.
Mundo, for the first 40 minutes, half an hour, we were horrendous. They cut through us. If we play like that against Chelsea, we're 3-0 down by half-time, I'm telling you.
It's over against Chelsea. Reece James and those guys. Reece James is on the form of his life. Their midfield, the only thing is Kante's injured. That's the thing that saves us. Kante is injured.
Is he going to be definitely out?
They don't know. They're saying they're assessing it. He's got a knee injury. But even without Kante, they're just a much better team than us. They're much better structure. They don't concede, so I don't see how we're going to score against them. Ronaldo's going to be isolated. Yesterday, we were horrendous. The first half, Dave saved the day again, because without him, it would have been a cricket score. And then we capitalised on a blunder. And isn't it funny that when you get a £73 million right winger and play him on a right wing, he actually has a good game? You know, that's what happens when you put players in the right position, isn't it?
I noticed that. Craig Virgo saying that. Did anyone notice yesterday that because we can't play out from the back. We can't. This coaching staff's been there with Ollie for the past how many years? And we can't play out. And it's the easiest drill to drill. It's the easiest drill to do, Mundo. It's to teach her. It's just doing it repetitively again and again. And the player who's got the ball having 3 options. That's why so many teams play out from the back. Because they want, when they get into midfield, they want to be able to overload. That's the reason why people play out from the back. Is to be able to give you time and space for you to transition on the overload, one side or the right side or left side of the pitch.
But you need the midfielder that's playing on the half turn. So when you pop it off into the midfield, they can turn and then release the ball forward. But because
give them more options, and give them more options. And yesterday, did anybody notice that Maguire did not want to receive the throw-ins from Tellez? See how close he was to him? It was crazy. It's like he's scared to get on the ball. Scared. Yeah, Ethan led. That's what we were talking about. Yeah.
He needs to be.
If you were on the board, would you choose your manager and director? Manager, most important person in Ten Hag, and looking at the teams, you'll just fail at short space of time. Yeah, 100%. If I was on the board, I would kindly take Ed Woodward to the top of the building at Mayfair office, and he'll just slip, and I'll be like, "No, Ed, no." I'm not for condoning any violence. That was just a stupid joke. But you know what I mean, guys. I'll be like, Ed, you're not qualified to do the job. Every one of you in the comment section who's a United fan knows more about Man United than Ed Woodward, Matt Judge, or Richard Arnold will ever know. Because at least you're football fans. You know. You know. If you love the club, you know to take advice from people who know what they're doing. That banker thinks he knows it all. He's arrogant, acting like he's a director of football. What qualifications? It's shocking. No, stop blaming the Glazers. That's what business people do. Reap back their investment from their business. They're not footballing people. Ed Woodward is the problem. Now, I'm saying they're both the problem. So why keep a guy in a place that is just inadequate? That's losing you money. Ed Woodward spent $1 billion and a quarter on players, and where we are, we're not sniffed the league for 9 years.
They would keep Ed Woodward. If they could keep Ed Woodward in his position, they would keep him.
Of
this
course.
comes from the
No,
board.
he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I promise you, he's not going anywhere. That's why they're leaking slowly but surely. Oh, consultant. Oh yeah, wing wink. You still belong to. You're still part of the club. We're just gonna pretend you're a consultant.
You know what it is like. You know when you watch like political, like programs or whatever shows, and there's a scandal, and someone needs to take the fall, and they say, you know what, it's got to be a big enough scalp to keep people happy. Ed Woodward was the fall guy, but what they said to him, it's like, you know, when the mafia, when things are falling away, and they say to somebody, look, you take the rap, we'll look after your family whilst you're gone, right?
Exactly.
That's what's happening with him. They said with the Super
is.
League thing, they said someone's got to take the blame for the Super League. We need to throw someone under the boss, but we need a big enough scalp. Ed, it's going to be you, mate. But guess what? Really, wink, wink. We'll keep you on the books. We'll look after you. Blah blah blah. That's what's happened. They think we're stupid as a fan base, because, and for me, it's just it all stems from the owners. That's why you've got to keep on the owners, because they are the ones who ultimately, Joe Glazer is the one who calls the shots, right? He's the one. So Ed Woodward's still in his job. The bankers are still there. The structure's still there. They dilly-dallied over Ollie. The reports coming out of the club about the Ollie situation was half the board was saying get rid, and they were waiting for Joe Glazer.
Game, After the Liverpool game,
they were waiting for Joe Glazer to pull the trigger, and his advisors said, "Nah, keep him." And apparently that was made up of Woodward and others, right? Who's saying keep Ollie. So I'm not absolving the owners of anything, because they are well and truly involved in this cluster, right?
Even though they don't live here, even though they don't live in this country. Yo, big up to my brother, man. My brother in the spaces. Devil in the details is in the comment section. Big up, bro. We need to definitely collaborate, man. We definitely I need to come on your channel. The Glazers employ Woodward, who's easily one of the worst CEOs in football. So the blame definitely with the Glazers. Of course it is. 100%. But can the fan base get together? Can all the big channels unite? Can all the big, pages on Twitter and on Instagram get together? Can we all put pressure? Can ex-legends get involved and really expose the truth, what it is? Because the media, if the ex-legends speak, the media will pick it up instead of looking after their brands, instead of the big YouTube channels, instead of the big pages on Twitter or Instagram, all about protecting their brand. If we all come together, we can put enough pressure on the Glazers to change these bankers and to put footballing people in positions to make footballing decisions. That doesn't mean we're going to win, people. It just means it gives us a chance to be able to compete with the likes of Liverpool, City, and all our rivals. It gives us a chance. But big up, bro.
I don't think the owners are adverse to having a proper footballing structure, right? Because I think the owners, their only concern is the money. They're not asked about the club internal. But what they've done is they've appointed someone in Woodward who's an egomaniac, and he wants to control everything, even the football side of it, even though he has no expertise, and wants to create jobs for his boys. Because if you get the director of football, then you don't need Matt Judge, you don't need Richard Arnold, because the director of football will negotiate contracts and do all the stuff that those guys are doing, right? And if you're concerned about the money, then all you say to the to director of football is, here's the budget, mate. Here's the budget. That's all the money you're getting, but we'll leave the rest to you to get the right players in, right, for the manager.
Exactly.
That's how it should work. But what Ed Woodward wants to do is, if we're spending money on players, it's got to have a commercial benefit. It's not to benefit the team. He's not interested in, oh, we're buying this player because we need a right back. It's like, is the right back someone who can get me 50 million in shirt sales? No, we're not buying it, right? They bought Wan-Bissaka because he was young English talent, right? And they probably thought, oh yeah, young English, we can sell that. Harry Maguire, English captain. Harry Maguire is crap. He is.
Now listen, he's not a crap, but he's not of a Man United standard. Let's be right, and he's definitely not Man United. He's definitely not a Man United level in terms of captain. He's definitely not a captain.
Well, the things that I thought we were buying Maguire for, I've yet to see. Like, I thought, oh, at least he's dominant in the air in both boxes. Is he dominant in the air for both boxes of Man United? No.
Nah.
At least he's strong. No, he's so weak. He gets bullied off the ball so often, and I thought that would compensate for his lack of pace, because you don't necessarily have to be fast if you've got good positional sense. You're good in the air. You've got some attributes, because you can then get someone alongside you to make up for the lack of speed. But
if it's coming at the end of the show, finish your point, Mundo.
I've been listening on YouTube. I thought I'd come back in and just, I realized you were doing it about 15 minutes ago. So I've just been listening to Mundo. He talks sense,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And the thing about Maguire is, we bought a world-class centre-back, World Cup winning, multiple Champions League winning, and he's got pace, he's got good position. He's made Maguire look even worse, because now we can see what a truly class centre-half looks like. Yeah,
it must be Adolman, though. He's quite injury-prone, though. 2 injuries already for Man United. How many games has he played?
I know, but I don't know how much is down to our backroom staff and crap coaches and whatever else. Because I don't ever recall him being injured.
To be fair, he was injured a lot in Real Madrid last couple of years, to be honest with you. He was injured a lot.
Thiago Silva is how old? He's 37. I'd rather take him now over Harry Maguire.
Yeah, of course. Are you kidding me? In a system that he plays in, Thiago Silva is incredible. Irfan, the last comments go to you, because we're going over an hour. So, if the club gets the interim, who's your interim? And if it was up to you, who do you want as your manager? I just want to reply to somebody who was just saying here. Luke, is it Craig Fargo? Somebody was saying, McTominay was a CDM. We did play 3-man midfield. No, he plays the number 10, Donny, but Donny was dropping back to try to help out, try to win the ball back, because them two are useless. Fred can press, but he's not very good at winning the ball back. McTominay is horrendous. We'll try to win the ball back. So, but anyway, go ahead, Irfan. You got the last.
Wait. Fred's better at winning the ball back than McTominay is.
Yeah, but he presses, because Fred is a high pressing number 8, bro. High pressing number 8. He wins the ball up the pitch.
Okay.
Go ahead, Irfan. Give us your last 2, because you're supposed to be part of the show tonight, but you didn't turn up to the last 2.
I didn't see it till late.
I told you that we were doing the show.
Well, look.
Every one of you, anyway, in the comments, guys. Big up to every one of you. Go ahead, Irfan.
I mean, for the interim, I know they've been linked with Valverde. They've interviewed Rudy Garcia. They're speaking to. Are they speaking to Ralph, the German Ralph, isn't it? The German guy. Are they speaking to him?
Raniak. Well, Irfan, that's what they're throwing the meat in it. I think that's Neil Ashton, me personally, because they understand what's going on. A lot of fans talking about Ralph Raniak for the past month, and they're like, let's throw those fans on Twitter a bone, because that's what they do, innit? So, to me, he wants to control.
As well.
Listen, that was Peter Schmeichel last night trolling us. I posted it. Trolling us. Absolutely trolling us. Peter Schmeichel.
I mean, look, Peter Schmeichel, he's bound to look after Ollie, Scandinavian Brotherhood and all that.
No, it's not about that. He said we should get Steve Bruce, he said he wants to go in there and he won't coach the players. He will just get them to defend. That's why his tactics. He goes, I won't do any training work or pressing or any tactics. I just get them to defend. And he said, he'll do a good job.
They're not the smartest people in the world, footballers, are they? Let's be honest. They're not the smartest, are they? Yeah?
Anyway, you know, you got my and you know my issues with that guy, man.
Yeah,
That guy, he's one of the first footballers who I physically saw racially abuse a black footballer live on TV.
Right. Yeah.
Live on TV.
Look, that's what I mean. So forget that idiot. Forget what he says. He's always back to Ollie, regardless anyway. Look, I personally I looked at it today, yeah. Interim, I probably would go with Ralph, this German guy, if we could get him. I would go with him. Because he might get through to them about the fact that the Jokers haven't got director of football. You know, at least he could put that in their ear, you know, because he's a very experienced guy. So I would take him interim, you know, because this is the guy that people like. Is this the guy that Klopp learned from?
No, this is
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the football, German football.
Yeah.
He's one of the godfathers.
Yeah.
Of the,
so,
of the
you know, so I'm saying,
German.
we need someone new. We can't have someone English or European. We definitely can't have that. So out of the ones I've looked at, I would take him as interim. But as long as he gets rid of all the coaching goons that are still there at the moment, as long as he gets rid of all of them, I'm happy. Yeah, right, because they're all culpable, like Ollie was. And my permanent manager, I've been thinking about this because I looked at quite a few things today. Yeah, do you know there's a thing going around? I don't know whether it was Manchester Evening News, but they've got this sort of computer game predictor. Have you seen it? Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. They do it every season. Every season is done.
They got a predictor, and what it is, if Poch was manager, they'd predict who he'd keep and who he'd buy. You guys need to see it. You really need to see it if he came to Man United. So I obviously, I mean, my ideal candidate would probably be Ten Hag.
So tell us. So tell us who would he have kept? Who would he have kept?
I should get it up on. I should get it up on MEM. You should check it now. I should read it out to you, man. It's fascinating what he came up with. It gets rid of Wan-Bissaka, you know that. It's on MEM.
Wan-Bissaka is not that good on the ball.
No, it's on MEM News, and what it is, it's a computer-generated program, right?
I know they use the thing to computer-generated to predict results over the season.
Yeah,
I know they do that.
This one predicts who he would buy and who would get rid of as Man United boss. Honestly, it's fascinating looking at it. Let me just have a quick.
What is it based on? Though? Is it based on?
No, it's like I said, I think it is proper data, but like I said, it's a computer program. Let me just have a quick look. Let me just quickly find it a second. I saw it. It was. I think it's with you know that guy, the journalist Samuel Luckhurst. I think it was him.
He's a Donkey fan, by the way. But go on.
I know, but at least he calls him out. At least he calls him out. Where the hell is it? Where did I see it now? I could swear it was him.
Ego. Woodward Danny has got too much of an ego to ever let anybody else have control and to put proper structure in place. And you know the worst thing? If he did that, fans at Old Trafford would be singing his name and praising him. Facts. That's what would happen, bro. That's what would happen.
It's a tough one. I'm looking at it and I can't see where it is now. I'm looking at the MEM page, but basically it was interesting because some of it made sense, some of it didn't make sense. Yeah, who we'd buy, but I remember he'd get rid of Wan-Bissaka, which I thought was very interesting. But you know, regardless,
he likes his fullbacks to attack.
Yeah, he does. That's what I mean. He likes them to attack. Yeah, he does. He wants. Because he developed Danny Rose and the guy that plays for City, what's his name?
Kyle Walker.
Yeah, play Walker.
Ben Davies.
That's the thing. You see, my problem, like one of the reasons I'm slightly edging towards Pochettino is because of his understanding of the English game. Although I will still take Ten Hag, but I understand why people would go for Pochettino because he's used to England. Let's be honest, England is a different thing completely. It's different. But I would like us long term to get Ten Hag because I think he could fix us long term. I really think he could, but I don't have no faith in these Cowboys getting going, even understanding what this guy is. I have no faith. Like Nuruddin's right, they're just looking on social media and see which way the wind is blowing with the fans and thinking, all right, let's put his name, let's get his name out there. That we're looking into this. We're looking into that because they're clueless. They haven't got any knowledge of football whatsoever. So, like I said, looking at all of it today, Valverde definitely no because he's too boring. He's too stiff. Too pragmatic. Yeah.
Ollie, very pragmatic football. Rio Matt, next time, bro. Definitely, we're gonna end the show, bro. We've gone over an hour and 10, and I wanted it to be 50 minutes, but it is a big show. It was a big debate, but definitely next time. And big up to every one of you in the comment section tonight. I think a lot of people said if you can get Poch now. A lot of people were saying get Ralph Ranier. I think that was the thing that I was seeing. I didn't see any
Is
Rodgers'
that the
name. I
consensus
didn't
of
see
opinion?
anybody
Is
else
that what
name.
everyone's saying? Yeah, is that what they've all been saying? Yeah.
If we can get him, yeah.
But then the question is, Nuruddin, when though? When are you going to get these guys if you can get them?
Yeah.
Now,
A proper
Right
club
now.
would get them in now. Proper club would pay
Yeah.
it. He wants to go and do it done and dusted in a week or two.
Listen, big up, Danny. Thanks for the facts, bro. Fred defensive duels rate 46 league average, 54 the overall ground duel. This is it. He's a pressing guy. That's not high. That's not really high, is it? In terms of winning it, he's a presser. He presses up the pitch and he's got energy. But listen, big up to every one of you. And I think it's in Therapy Army has spoken. I think we would definitely like Ten Hag. We would like Raf Raniak to be the interim. And I think if we all have given a choice now, because we still think there's something in this season, we would go and get Pochettino. Pochettino can come now. But apparently, people are in an emergency meeting. The PSG are in an emergency meeting, breaking news. Julian Laurent, and they're deciding what to do about the situation with Poch. And Oli for the rebuild, not Oli forever. Now, 100%, 100%. Dan, 100%.
No, but does Pochettino really want to leave? Does he want to leave? Does Pochettino want the job?
Apparently, he's flirting, isn't he? Listen, he's having some troubles with Leonardo. Every manager there is having problems with Leonardo. It's a joke of a club. The players can ask the president what they want, and it undermines the manager. Yeah. And Mundo's telling me you watched the game tonight, and those
I watched the game tonight. I watched it tonight as well.
They refused to press.
Yeah. It was an interesting game because City did dominate, but then that chance that Neymar missed at the end, to make it, and then they go ahead and score. So it was a tough one because I thought they defended quite well. City were on fire, but I thought PSG defended quite well. Second half, again, City's was too much for them. Second half,
I've seen PSG have been getting in every game in Champions League. RP Leipzig, all those teams, Club Blues have ripped them, and they've got out of jail. Because they've got the
Alistair, listen, Alistair, please don't call people in the comments small-minded. Call people, I just disagree with your opinion. That's it. It's all about opinions, but no need to get personal and call people small-minded. That devil in the detail, Danny, is a very, very, very astute and nothing that he says he doesn't back up, bro. So at the end of the day, it's all about a game of opinions. That's the beauty of football. But just don't not be insulting each other in the comments and referring to people as small-mindedness. Yeah, I don't see Oli as a legend anymore. I don't because they made him suffer. The last month was a death by 1,000 cuts, and then he's there going on with Jeff Drew saying, "Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh." Don't apologize to some Sky journalist, mate. That hurt me more than him crying. That hurt me. That he had to apologize to some muppet from Sky. Listen, love and respect to you all. We've gone way over the time. I think Therapy Army have spoken. We've said, but we're in the hands of the bankers. Unless we all come together and decide to put real pressure on the bankers, we're not getting anywhere. So love and respect to you all. Big hugs. Love to Dan. Dan, next time I need to get you on, bro. So, and next time I'll DM you, bro, and then you can come on. Because other than being in the comments, I would love to have had your views on what we're thinking tonight. But yeah, big up to every one of you, Kellys. Thank you so much. Big up, Alistair. Big up every one of you. Big up, Georgie B. Like I said, Therapy Army smoking. At the moment, we are in the hands of the manipulators, the sonographers, the so-called journalists. And we definitely end on the show. Our heart breaks for the families and friends, for the 30 people that are drowned, and for other thousands that have drowned for the past 7 or 8 years in refugees. They're not migrants, they're refugees. They're not migrants, they're refugees. In the channel tonight, they're not refugees. And like I said, I say it again, if they were white and European, thousands would not have died and drowned, right? Fact. That is the fact. Because that's how white supremacy moves through this world. That's how it moves people. But solidarity, respect to anybody who's suffering around the world, and big up to every one of you. Bankers out, Glazers out, always, always. Mundo, can find him, Mighty Mundo on Twitter. Irfan Rainey, always find him on Twitter as well. And also on Instagram, if you want him. But big up to one of you. And thanks for getting in the comments, bro. Next time, just DM me and get on, man. Get on, because people want to hear your opinion. But anyway, Love, light, respect, peace. Bank us out.